So, you might be able to tell that I've never ran a marathon or competed in the Olympics, and those are both fine, but I know the importance of warming up before you exercise. Now, although we might think the only muscles that we're using when we're singing are all here, up here, singing is a full body experience. We have to consider that when we create a warm up routine. So, let's begin. Firstly, we want to do something that's going to get our hearts going, wake us up, and focus us on our breathing. Now, stay with me. We're going to start with 30 seconds of star jumps. Before you click away, I know what you're thinking. Andrea, this is a singing lesson. And you're not a Fitspiration Instagram model. And yeah, I know that. But that's why you can trust me, because you know that if I can do this, so can you. We won't do the full 30 seconds together because that would make for a super boring first video, but we'll do a little bit together, and I'll let you know exactly what we're going to do. So are you ready? So 30 seconds of star jumps. Really put your all into it. It really is going to help you in the end. And if nothing else, you've got your cardio for the day. Almost. So we're ready? Okay. Yeah. So you can go longer if you want, but the idea is that cardio puts your lungs into motion. Yeah? It starts to train your body to take deeper, fuller breaths. When you do this, notice where the breath is. Is it in your chest? Are your shoulders tensing up? Bring them down. We want to try and be as loose as possible. Try and bring your breath down to a big belly breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and relax. Next, still concentrating on the breath, stay with me. We're going to run as fast as we can on the spot for 30 seconds. Same thing, feel your breath, let it fill up your lungs, give you more oxygen to do it faster. That's what it's there for. Really try and put your all into it. So we're ready? Let's go. Try and bring the knees up. Bring the knees up. Bring the arms outside. Yeah. You get the idea, you know. I'm not inappropriate exercise attire today. That's another important lesson. Wear comfortable clothing when you're going to do your singing practice. So, we can now relax. You're happy to know that the high intensity portion exercise of the video is now done. Whew. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is very nice, something that we can all get behind, a little bit of self-care. We're going to do some massaging, because often when we're singing we tend to tense our throats, and if you're like me and you're doing maybe a few songs, maybe an hour, sometimes three, as I said, 3 hours, that tension just rides all the way down to your shoulders. And if you're like me, sometimes I'm playing guitar when I sing, that goes all the way down my arms, and just not in a good way. You want to be able to have some tension in your body and sometimes in your throat, but not so much that you're not able to get the notes out, and then you're having to belt and you're putting extra strain in your throat, which can damage it in the end. FYI, please forgive it if you can hear my dog barking in the background. He's a very lovely boy, but it is very noisy. So we're going to do a little bit of massage. So we're going to start with the shoulders. We're going to start with the shoulders, if you can see over my pop shield. Yeah, here we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to do like a piano motion. You can have it kind of tight like that, or you can have it wide like that. And we're going to just do that on our shoulders, and it feels good. It's good. It helps kind of loosen the muscles up here, which, as I said, get very tense when you're singing. You just kind of work it. You can even use your fingertips to kind of do little small circles. Now what we don't want to be doing is doing too hard. We don't want to hurt ourselves, but just gently, just massaging the shoulder area. You can even come down, like I said, if you play instruments as well, you can get tension in your arms and shoulders, and in the upper arms here as well, especially. So you can do that. We can move on to the other shoulder. Again, we're doing the piano motion and doing maybe a little bit of the circling motion, and that feels good. That feels good. It's going to help us. It's going to help us in the end. And remember, all of these steps, although you're not getting around to the singing in this episode, we will be doing actual singing exercises in our next episode. But these steps are really important. I want to stress to all of you out there that, as I said before, although we think of the muscles in the throat here being the most important for singing, really the whole body is important when you're singing, having that kind of awareness. And it kind of goes to a kind of mindfulness idea as well. If you're more aware of your body, aware of the kind of muscles, you're more aware and know when you do sometimes get tension to be able to relax. So we can do both shoulders now at the same time, just working them in, doing the piano motion or doing a little bit of a circular motion. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring that up to the backs of our necks, just a little bit on either side of the spine. You'll be on either side of the neck, you'll be able to feel that. You can even bring your thumbs behind your head and just do gentle circle motions just there, and that can help relieve the tension, especially up here with your head. Sometimes if we're trying to go for high notes, we sometimes tend to lift again because we're straining, we're trying to lift our heads up, and that creates strain up here at the back of our neck. You can do a wee head massage if you feel like you want to. We're going to move now onto the jaw area, because again, sometimes when we're trying to sing and reach those high notes, we tend to actually reach our bodies up, which is not good. So we want to take our thumbs underneath the chin, and again, just a little bit of a circular motion, quite light. We don't want to do anything too severe, but just to kind of loosen up that area there underneath. You can move that out to the other sides of the jaw very gently, underneath the chin, underneath the jawbone here, and then you can move up to the actual jaw where your jaw meets here at the hinge. So when we're singing, we're using our mouth to enunciate. We want to make sure that's nice and loose, and you can even move that into your face. And this is going to look very silly. We can get very silly when it comes to singing practice, but it's good, it's all in good fun. And really, we're just trying to do the same thing, relax our face so that get that all the blood flow to there so that we can really enunciate. Oh, so now that we've done the massage, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do some stretching. Now, again, it's all part of the body warm up. I do this every time. I try and do a little bit of it every day. If I'm not doing specifically for vocal exercises, I'll be doing yoga. Yoga stretching is amazing for really waking up your body in loads of different ways, and I would highly recommend it. There's loads of great videos on YouTube that you can check out if you want to try it at home. And again, it's also all about tapping into your breathing and being aware of your breathing and things like that. So really helpful, but for the purposes of if you're wanting to do your vocal warm-ups, we just do some simple stretches and some simple movements just to kind of, again, awaken the body after we've had that nice relaxing massage. So we'll start the top of the head. We're going to breathe deeply, and we're going to just stretch our neck to one side. Now we want to make sure that our shoulders are not up. We want to try and make sure that our shoulders are down. We're going to just almost try and touch your ear to that side, and just breathe into that kind of sensation of your shoulder kind of stretching, and then slowly bring it back to center, and we'll do the other side. Stretch right along here. This is nice. And I want to note, whenever you're doing shoulder exercises or neck exercises, try, if you're doing neck rolls, some people like to do shoulder ear to ear, so you do from one ear round to the other ear. You can do that, you just need to make sure that you're not going back the way. So we don't want to tip our heads back, and we don't want to roll our heads back the way, because you can get a trapped nerve from that. But what we can do is we can go forward. So after we've done the side to side, try and let your head just hang. Like, even if you kind of almost like you're shoving, your head's going off a cliff. And you can really feel where we were massaging earlier, that tension. And because I know I do a lot of these things every day, I can feel even now that is not as tense as it was a few minutes ago before I did the neck exercises. So that's really good. So next we'll move on to our shoulders. So we do, sometimes you might get a nice crick in your neck and your shoulders, which I just got, which is nice. Moving our shoulders back the way, moving our shoulders forward, really chest opening here, because it's good posture is a really important part of singing as well, because good posture, you're opening your body up to take in as much oxygen as possible to get the right amount of tension in your tummy so that you can really project. So you can even bring your arms into this as well, going backwards, going forwards. Yeah, and it really just, especially when you put your arms, you can do it open. Oh, that feels really nice. That feels good. Have a little shake. Okay, next we're going to do some twisting, because obviously this area here, where your diaphragm and around your ribs and your pelvic floor, they're all really important muscles for you to learn how to identify and also be able to tense and relax on cue. So we're going to take a gentle twist to one side, so to the right or the left, and we're just going to keep the breath even. We're just going to twist to one side just very gently, and try and keep your bottom half is going the same, like forward as much as possible, and to the other side. And again, try and keep, I was doing that there, you need to try and keep your shoulders down. And even though you're kind of tensing one part of your body because you're stretching, try and think about keeping the other sides, the other parts of your body relaxed. So again, your arms, your shoulders, try and keep those relaxed while you're doing your other stretches. And really, you gain a lot of awareness about your body when you do these. We're going to do one where we go over, so put your feet kind of shoulder length apart or just a little bit wider. You have one arm by your side and the other one comes up. And we go over. Yeah. And you can keep these poses and do them again and again, long as you want. You can do them longer. You can incorporate other poses into it. If you do yoga and you'd like to do that, that's fine. These are just very good for opening up all the areas that we want to sing with. So the last thing we're going to do, we can shake our legs off a little bit because the legs tend to be rigid. We're going to do a full body flop, upper body flop. So the idea is you can have your knees a little bit bent if you want. If you can have your legs straight, you can, but we're just going to slowly move forward. Trying to touch our toes. We come up, and as we come up, we're going to come up very slowly, and we're just going to really think about every single little vertebrae in our spine, just slowly straightening up all the way from the base to the mid back to the shoulders, and you want your head to come up last. So we all feel nice and relaxed. Our body is ready for us to sing. As I said, this video doesn't have any singing in it exactly, but our video for tomorrow will, so please tune in, and please remember that these parts are very important as well. So we're going to leave you, after we did all that intense exercise earlier, with a little bit of some breathing technique. So some of you who have sang for a while may know about this, some of you who haven't might not know about this, but breathing is really, as I've said throughout the video so far, is fundamental to singing. It's where you get your support from, it's where you're able to project, and having control over that breath is really important, and knowing how to breathe properly. If anyone's ever had an anxiety attack out there, you'll know what it feels like to not have enough breath. You breathe into your chest, your shoulders get tighter and tighter, and that's why we were talking about that earlier when we were doing our running. Being able to breathe deeply and exhale fully is a really important part of singing. So what we mean by breathing properly is breathing into our bellies. Often as a woman, you're kind of told to like suck everything in, but when you're singing, you can't, you don't want to do that. You want to inflate the tummy and then deflate it. And when you're deflating it, you might be able to feel that part of your diaphragm working. So let's try it. Put your hand on your tummy and take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. You can even try this where you, when you go to inflate, when you go to breathe in, you keep your hand where it is when you exhale and breathe out. It means that there's a little gap here where my tummy was, and when I breathe in again, I'm going out to meet it there. If anyone's finding this particularly difficult, what you can do is lie down on the floor. If you lie down on your back, sometimes that can help. Learning how to breathe into your tummy. Equally as important is learning how to exhale properly, and we just touched on that, saying that you have to use your diaphragm. When I was a woodwind player, when I was a teenager, and it's the same with singing, you're taking a lot of breaths and you're having to figure out strategic breaths to take in between all of your notes and particular lyrics, for example. And the really important thing is when you're breathing in and you've done those notes, to breathe out any extra air you still have. So being able to completely exhale and empty your lungs, because if you don't, and it means that the next time you go to take a breath, your lungs are already at partial capacity. You've not emptied your lungs as much as you can, and that means that you're not going to be able to get as much breath in the next time you go to take a breath. And if you keep doing that throughout the song, by the time you get to the end of your song, you'll be like, up here, all the breath will have been taken up under here because you've not exhaled properly, and it'll all be up here. So we really want to learn how to exhale. So we're going to end today with a little breathing exercise that's going to really help us, again, tap into the breath, learn how to really fully inhale, fully exhale. It's a little bit of a mindfulness exercise as well. If anybody does kind of meditation apps before bed, it's a really good wind down exercise as well, because it's all kind of fundamental to, learning how to make your body work for you the best, learning how to breathe properly and learning how to focus on different parts of your body. It's something that we kind of lose as we get older because we're so busy with everything going on. So it's a nice little exercise to do. It's really good for, as I said, for learning the kind of fundamentals of starting how to breathe properly. And yeah, it's a nice little relaxation exercise at the end of our very first video, my very first video as well. Before we do, I want to say thank you to Music Broth for getting me along to do this. Make sure that you are subscribed to Music Broth on Facebook and Instagram so you can check out our next video tomorrow, which I promise will have singing exercises where you sing. This is really important, but we will go on to the juicy stuff tomorrow. And if you really liked what you heard today from me, then you can check me out on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at @AndreaMusic. Thank you guys so much, and hopefully we'll all feel nice and relaxed after our last exercise and ready for tomorrow. So what we're going to do, very simple, again, hand on tummy, and we're going to breathe in for 4 in through the nose, hold for 4, and then we're going to breathe out for 8. Somebody I know that does it as a relaxation method did it with 5s, doing 5, 5, 5, 5 and 10, but as a musician I've kind of count in 4s anyway, so 4, 4 and 8. So in for 4, hold for 4 and out for 8, and that will really show you the kind of capacity that your lungs have to, like, when you think that you've exhaled, that you actually still have more to go. So we'll do it all together, and we'll see you tomorrow. So hand on tummy, you can close your eyes if you'd like to do this as a relaxation exercise as well. Feet kind of shoulder width apart, shoulders down, in through the nose and out through the mouth. So in for 4, 2, 3, 4, hold for 4, 2, 3, 4, out for 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more. In, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now that we've mastered breathing, you're ready for our next exercise tomorrow. Before you tune in tomorrow, make sure you can come do all these steps so we're all ready to go. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.